When it comes to characters, Marvel has a lot, and I can almost guarantee everyone has a favorite hero or villain. It could be Spider-Man, it could be Captain America, it could be Iron Man. Now, if you can get the chance to play as your favorite character, wouldn't you? If you can see your favorite villain in action, wouldn't you want to? This is where Marvel's Comic Invasion shines. A beat 'em up with 4-player co-op that has 15 characters you can play with. The moment you start the game, you can choose 11, and as you do the campaign, you unlock 4 extra. You choose 2 characters and can play each mission switching between them whenever you want, like a tag team. The campaign has 60 missions that take from 8 to 10 minutes and takes around 2 to 3 hours to complete with all the cutscenes included. The missions have challenges in case you want to spend more time with a different character. You can play the story or missions with any character, and I would recommend switching it up because all the characters play differently. I chose She-Hulk and Beta Ray Bill on my first playthrough, and I enjoyed the game so much because She-Hulk is a grappler and slams everything, even bosses. You can even stun some bosses to do infinite combos. I tried doing that to all of the bosses, but it only worked on the first half of the bosses. The other half had mechanics that could only be interrupted by doing the actual mechanics. Beta Ray Bill is just a replacement for Thor. He uses Stormbreaker and does lightning damage. I noticed some characters had elemental damage that could give you more damage overall on certain missions, but it is not a mechanic the game focuses on too much. All the characters have their own kit that can make the game feel fresh even if you're playing the same missions over and over. The arcade mode lets you play the same 60 missions but scores you depending on how fast you complete them, and if you die in any moment, you start from mission 1 again. Also, you can choose modifiers in these missions. This is another way to keep playing the game and not feeling bored from doing the same thing over and over because as you score, you're also leveling up your characters to make them stronger. Not only are the characters getting stronger, but you unlock colors for them when you get to level 10. The other things you unlock as you play are files to learn about the characters and map and the world of the Marvel Universe. I am sure this would interest comic fans because this could spark their interest in their next read. Normally, on the main campaign, it is easy because you can kill enemies with simple combos. That changes with the modifiers the arcade mode gives you though. This is where you can show off combos or start prioritizing the tag team mechanic. The modifiers is what breathes life into this game because of how varied the choices are. And the beauty of it all is that it's up to you to choose whatever modifiers you want. You want to give enemies more HP so you can practice your combos? You can. You want to practice your blocking or dodging? You can make enemies' behavior more aggressive. You want to make the game harder to challenge yourself by cutting down on your health? Go right ahead. It's up to you. There's a dodge and a block that leads to a parry if done right. Each character can only do one of each, just like some characters can fly and some can't. I felt the characters that can fly did have an advantage over the others when it came to the flying enemies and the obstacles. You could deal with flying enemies with every character. The heroes that can fly can avoid some obstacles and can kill flying enemies much easier. The heroes that can dodge can get behind enemies with shields and just hit them as opposed to heroes that have to parry to break those shields. It is a bit harder to block attacks than to dodge out of the way, especially if they're unblockable attacks. Basically, if you can find a hero that can fly and dodge, you're smooth sailing. When I first started the game, I thought the game was giving me cutscenes and dialogue based on the random characters that I chose. A few playthroughs after, I realized I was choosing coincidentally the right characters for the missions. Each mission shows you what characters to pick to have the right experience, but I never noticed that. After I noticed, I started seeing something that bothered me and I couldn't unsee or unhear them. Even though the voice acting is good, the voices are not playing with the actions of the characters as you play. The voices come in as you get to a certain part of the level. Some voices do play with your actions, but not all of them. This is a little annoying because when you're doing combos and using ultimates, there are no quips going with them. That makes it feel very awkward. Seeing a Wolverine doing his ultimate and seeing him open his mouth screaming with no sound coming out feels weird. Like your brain is waiting for a scream, but there's no scream coming to get you. The boss fights have pretty easy to follow mechanics that make the game more challenging instead of just smashing buttons. Don't get me wrong though, there is a lot of button mashing, especially when playing with 3 other players. You can basically close your eyes and press buttons until there's no enemies on the screen. It is all about the fun and craziness when you're playing with others. But when you're playing by yourself, you can pull off a few combos that can make you feel pretty good. When it comes to combat, there is no diagonal dash. That bothers me because most boss fights have unblockable attacks you have to avoid. The game would benefit from a sidestep in those cases because you can feel the change of pace going from dodging and dashing to the sides, and then just taking a slow walk around the corner when you need to avoid those attacks. When it comes to playing with friends or online, it is as simple as pressing two buttons. There is no overcomplicated way to invite people or to join people. Everything is fast. You can invite people or join them in any mission, no matter your progress or level with characters. I appreciate how fast it is because this isn't a game to be waiting around for. This is a game you play for pure chaos. The amount of Marvel characters in the game is pretty impressive. I am not a comic book reader, but I play Marvel Snap just for fun. I recognize almost every single character in the game because of that. Imagine if a comic book reader played this game. They would have the time of their lives looking at characters like Zabu or Cosmic Ghost Rider. Speaking about Cosmic Ghost Rider, did you know that Cosmic Ghost Rider is Frank Castle? No? Well, now you know. I found that out when I started unlocking files that gave me information about the characters and the world. As I said before, there is probably a character for everyone here. Even if they change the most famous characters for their least famous ones, like Thor for Beta Ray and Hulk for She Hulk. If you read comics, if you play Marvel Rivals, if you play Marvel Snap, if you watch anything Marvel, you will see a lot of characters you will recognize. And if you have a kid from this generation, I can guarantee you they will say, "Oh, look, from Fortnite."